This week is a Thorn Survivors week, and I kind of broke it. That's not entirely true. Actually, there's quite a few good things that I did. For one, it's got a title that goes vertical instead of horizontal. So on the computer, when you open it up, it'll be horizontal. If you open it up on mobile, it'll be vertical. And then now you get a little directional pad that only shows up for mobile. And it needs some work, but it works. So if you want to test the game, you can go on the website and play a working version of it. But I decided to do some things that I told myself I wasn't going to do with this project. I told myself this was like just for fun, just like a little thing to do. Don't care too much about optimization. And then I went off the rails and decided I needed to practice object pooling. So I successfully actually did learn some really neat tricks for object pooling. I learned how to use modulos for wrapping. I didn't know you could do that, but I know it now. And I figured out some ways to take a prefab, instance it, and then put it into a list. And then with a super simple piece of code, you can check if that object, if an object in the list is not active in the hierarchy. And if it's not active, activate it. And if every single object is in use, well, then we'll just make a new one. And this way, I don't have to hard set any numbers. In fact, I'll just show you the code, but this code is definitely overall wrong. This is why things are kind of broken right now, and I'll get to that in a second. But I thought this was really cool here. I got a coroutine. When the coroutine starts, we're going to make a list for that ability. So I'll say attack, and I'll give the index of the ability that I want to use. So index 0 is going to be the character's core ability, like their unique ability. And then you can add more to the list later. So you create a pool just for that ability. And then I finally figured out ternaries. Felt like every time I started to use them, I couldn't quite get it, but it makes sense to me now. And here I'm using a ternary operation just to determine where the spawn point should be. That way, during testing, I don't have to put a spawn point. It'll just spawn from the center of the character. But when I do finally want to go in and put it, I can go in and put it. And then this is what I thought was really cool. Pool.find object, I believe that's lambda, or basically we're just returning something, right? We're saying, hey, find an object that is not active in the hierarchy, right? And then return that object. And if every single object in the hierarchy is active, well, then we're going to get null. So we know that we need to make a new thing, and then we instantiate it. And then otherwise, if we don't need to make a new one, well, that ability that we found, we can just tell it to be true. And this way, we have sort of like a lazy loading pooling system, which I think is really, really cool. Maybe that's just because I'm a scrub and I don't know any better. If you know a way more efficient, super cooler, better way than this, then please tell me. I would love to hear what you have to say. Anyways, the reason why this is broken, though, has to do something with the abilities. So let me press play actually real quick and let it run. If you play the live version of the game right now, you'll see that when you survive long enough, you'll get a modifier. Now, currently in the live version, there's only one type of modifier, and it's called Pierce. But I want to have modifiers, I want to have abilities, and then I want to have upgrades that maybe sometimes replace modifiers, or I don't know, I have to figure that out. But I want the modifiers to be able to modify any of the abilities you have. But since I can't know what abilities you will have, I need to make it very future-proof in runtime. And so I've been trying to figure that out. And I almost figured it out. I think right here, I'm clicked on my Fireball prefab. And over here, let's see, Fireball clone 0. This is a clone of that prefab, but when I click plus on the duration here didn't change, but the duration here on the prefab did change. And the problem is I don't want the prefab to change. And you can see here my my object pool system working, where it's turning on the deactive ones because we don't need to instantiate more. But anyways, I don't want the prefab to change. I want the existing ones to change and the new instances to change. And so that's where I've hit a bit of a wall. And like, I was just sitting for like 30 minutes, like thinking, what am I going to do? I've tried a few different things, and everything I tried kind of broke. So yeah, that's why right now the game is ultimately in a broken state. But some progress has been made. The reason I'm even working on this project right now is, if you don't know, so it turns out in this clip, I never actually explained why I was working on this project. And pretty much it was just to take a break from working on my main project, Data Monsters. I mostly just go on a rant about how I made a Unity asset from my main game and spent the past couple months getting that asset ready, putting it on the Unity store, which it is, by the way, ready. It's Ogar's Basic Models. Go check it out. And that's it. I'm going to spare you from my other rantings in this video. And yeah, I'm going to call the video done now. Check out Thorn Survivors on your phone and on your computer, and tell your friends to do it too, please. See you next time.